In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, hello everybody, how are you doing? We'll be doing great by the mercy and grace of Almighty Allah. My name's N.A. Saqib. I'm your artsman, IELTS trainer. Additionally, been also teaching the students of spoken English for the last 20 years at the platform of Genius Institute, Lahore. Dear friends, we're also professional student visa consultants. We accept your applications for UK, Australia, Canada, America, and across Europe. Lots of success stories can be found on our YouTube channel, Genius Institute Lahore, which you must be watching right now. Dear friends, we're also offering online classes and offline classes, on-campus classes. If you're interested in either one of them, you can contact our WhatsApp number given in the description. My dear friends, we'll be talking about today, or my lecture would be about IELTS Writing Task 2. It's a very popular essay and it's known as an academic task 2 essay. It enjoys 5 different types, and those are opinion essays, advantages and disadvantages essays, problem and solution essays, discussion essays, and double question essays. In the popularity graph, opinion essay comes first, and afterwards there is a number of advantages and disadvantages essay, and that's the area of our main concern today. We'll be talking about advantages and disadvantages essay, and its 3 major subcategories, subkinds, or subtypes. There are 3 different types of advantages and disadvantages essays. We'll be just talking about in our lecture of ours today about all those 3 categories. Not only we'll be talking about, I'll give you a very simple question and then we'll try to explain it, and then I'll be providing you with the structure accordingly of that kind or type of advantage and disadvantage essay. Next, I'll just provide you with I'll give you the insight into the language. What are the specific structures which are probable and which are really likely to be used in that category of essay. And last but not the least, I'll give you a full-fledged question and answer. I'll just describe that answer in the fundamental blocks, step by step or sentence by sentence formula, and you'll be just able to know how the question to this category can be answered very effectively and intelligently. So these are the highlights of today's lecture. Get ready, my students, and just hold a paper and pencil. I hope you will be enjoying it. It's going to be a bit lengthy exercise today, a big tutorial, but it's going to be very useful for you and extremely beneficial when it comes to writing task 2, because it's a difficult task, and many students actually don't take the required band scores in writing module. The reason is they don't take it seriously, or maybe they're not taught seriously by the teachers, keeping in view all these types and their sentence by sentence structures. So first of all, let's talk about this advantage and disadvantage. What are the synonyms which can be used in the examination instead of using advantage and disadvantage? Number 1 is pluses and positives, pluses and minuses, positives and negatives. There are some more words, for example, merits and demerits, strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons, highlights and challenges, so on and so forth, benefits and harms. So these are the certain words which can be used here in this kind of essays, and they can be used, these words or these particular words can be used at the end of the question statement, in the instructions. Yes, of course, I was just trying to find out the proper word. In the instruction area, these words can be found. If you happen to find these words, take it for granted you're going to attempt an advantage disadvantage essay. Dear friends, let's try to understand what is the basic formula of this sentence. of this particular actually essay type. Actually here in this category of essay, normally you are given a statement and then asked to comment on the advantage and disadvantage of the statement. So that's the very basic formula of this category of essay. As I told you earlier on, there are three different kinds of this particular essay, and that's the advantage and disadvantage essay. What are these three kinds? I'll just let you know about all these three kinds by providing you with the questions and just trying to highlight those instruction words actually which differentiate one question from the other one. So these are three subtypes of advantages and disadvantages essays. We'll be just talking about all of them one by one. First of all, I'll just give the question, then we'll just try to just explain it a bit, and then I'll provide you with the structure. And last but not the least, I'll provide you with a full-fledged question answer sample for your kind information and for your better understanding rather. I must tell you that you must follow this specific structure of each kind and answer these questions accordingly. Otherwise, you are at a risk of losing lots of easy marks. So that's really important for you guys. So my today's lecture will look at each of the three types and suggest a standard sentence by sentence structure for each of them. So let's analyze the first kind, or the first question. It will be like this. In some countries, young people are encouraged to work or travel for a year between finishing high school and starting university studies, third level of education or tertiary education. So these words, the instruction words, are really important and worthy to be noticed. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages for young people who decided to do this. That's it, my dear friends. It's a very simple type 1 of question. And here, what you're going to do, you're going to write down introduction, then body paragraph 1, and you introduce one advantage. And then in body paragraph 2, you will talk about the second disadvantage. And then in the fourth paragraph, actually that's going to be the conclusion, you will give the summary of the entire essay. So that's going to be the simple step-by-step formula. We'll be just explaining it further when it comes to explaining task 1 in detail. So the question, actually, this simple question asks you to talk about its advantages and disadvantages in detail, and it doesn't ask you for your opinion or say what side of better or worse, what side is better or worse. So you should not include this information in your answer. It will be very simple structure, as I told you that, you will be required to introduce a simple structure in which the student will look at the advantages in one paragraph and the disadvantages in the other. So the structure will be like this. Let's try to understand it. In the first paragraph, and that's the first paragraph, is the always introduction. You will introduce sentence number 1 and you will introduce the paraphrasing of the question. So in the sentence 1, you will paraphrase, and you know about the paraphrasing concept. What is that? You tell me about it. Just take your time and think, what does the paraphrasing mean? Paraphrasing actually is all about changing the words but keeping the meaning. So you change the question words by using synonyms. You know what the synonyms, smart, intelligent, these are two different words, but they have the same meaning. Actually, you have to change the words of the question, but you have to keep the meaning. Sometimes you flip the order of the structure of the sentence. And sentence number 2 would be outline sentence. you will outline what examiner will read in the rest of the essay. Then there is a body paragraph 1, and you will talk about the advantages in that first body paragraph. Sentence number 3 would be topic sentence. And you know what the topic sentence, it expresses the main idea or the central theme of the paragraphs. Okay, sentence number 4 would be explaining how this is an advantage. In topic sentence, actually, you have introduced one advantage. There are lots of, IELTS experts who actually recommend to introduce 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. I think it will be unjustified because you won't be able to justify with 2 advantages and disadvantages each in each body paragraph, because you will have to give the supporting arguments, and you will be required to just give one example each. So it will be too lengthy, maybe more than 300 words essay, which is not desired by the examiners. So you must give one advantage and one disadvantage in each body paragraph. So in this way, you will be just talking about its supporting ideas, and then you will be also justifiably giving one example each. So the sentence number 4 will be explaining how this is an advantage, and sentence number 5 will be an example, as a matter of fact. So this example will definitely support your sentence, topic sentence, by the way. And in the body paragraph number 2, you will give disadvantage or one disadvantage in the topic sentence, actually. And then this will be sentence number 6. And in sentence number 7, you will explain how this is a disadvantage. In sentence number 8, you will give an example and support the disadvantage with your example. And then last but not the least, there will be a conclusion. And in conclusion, you always summarize the body paragraphs and you present a summary of main points. So this was the first type of advantage and disadvantage essay, my dear friends. Now let me introduce you with the second type. I will explain it by introducing you with the question number 2. Some experts believe that it's better for children to begin learning a foreign language at primary schools rather than secondary school. Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? That's it, my dear friends. This instruction sentence is going to decide that this is the second type of advantage and disadvantage essay, because it has used the word outweigh. It simply means that you have to say if the advantages are stronger than the disadvantages. So I didn't say if there are more advantages than disadvantages. Okay, it's not the number which is the main focus here in this question, it's the overall weight. So the question is not asking you to talk about numbers, but comment on the overall weight of the advantages or disadvantages. So you would also have to make this clear in your thesis statement. You know what the thesis statement actually is a very important statement in the introduction of each essay. And in thesis statement, you explain in one sentence what's your opinion about this essay, or you express your entire essay in one sentence. So that sentence actually covers the main idea, or it will be addressed. So ideas which will be addressed and defended in the extreme and the entire essay. So the structure of this kind would be: number 1, introduction. Sentence 1 will be paraphrasing the question. Sentence 2, thesis statement, or state which one outweighs the other. Sentence number 3 is outline sentence. And then there are body paragraphs. In the first body paragraph, you will introduce 2 topic sentences and then supporting ideas and examples as well. So sentence number 4 would be, you will be talking about the stronger side first and then about the weaker side in the next body paragraph. So sentence number 4 will be topic sentence. 5 would be explain why it is strong. 6, you will explain you will express your example in connection with the topic sentence. Then the second topic sentence in the same body paragraph would be given because you think it to be stronger. So you will give 2 topic sentences in the first body paragraph. So sentence number 7 once again would be a topic sentence. 8, explain why it is strong, and 9, example. Body paragraph number 2, actually, you will talk about the weaker side here in this second body paragraph. And sentence number 10 would be a topic sentence. 11, explain why it is not strong, why it is weaker. And sentence number 12, example. And then the conclusion. In conclusion, that's the sentence number 13, summary of main points, and restate your position. My dear friends, that was the question number 2. And now the question number 3. Let's try to analyze what is the third kind of advantages and disadvantages essay. So let's begin. Computers are becoming, or internet-based learning is becoming, an essential part of school lessons. General statement. Now, the instructions. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages and give your own opinion. My dear friends, here it becomes the third kind because an opinion is also being included here. So this question is very different from the first and second question types of advantages and disadvantages essay, because it's more like an opinion essay and a discussion essay at the same time. So your structure will reflect this by having a paragraph for advantages and disadvantages and a special paragraph for an opinion or holding your position here. The structure will be like this: introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and then the conclusion. In introduction, you will give the sentence 1 and paraphrase the question. And then in sentence 2, thesis statement, your opinion. Sentence number 3, outline statement. Body paragraph 1, you will talk about advantages, and definitely you will give one advantage as I advise you early on, because you can't justify with more than one advantages in a very short essay like this. Sentence number 4 will be topic sentence. 5, explanation. 6, example. Body paragraph 2, disadvantage. Sentence number 7 would be topic sentence. In the second body paragraph, sentence number 7, topic sentence. Sentence number 8, explanation. Sentence number 9, example. And then there is a third body paragraph and you will express your opinion over there. And sentence number 10 would be about explaining your opinion, or 11 would be giving example of further explaining it. And then the conclusion, sentence number 12, summary of the main points will be given. My dear friends, these are 3 different types of advantages and disadvantages essays, and I've given you the questions, I've explained them a bit, and then I give you the structures of each kind so that you may not be mistaken about the structures, and you must be careful when you will be attempting this kind of question in the examination hall. Now, the next part of our lecture would be about I'll be just giving you some wonderful language and a kind of structures which are very useful for making the frame of writing the sentences of this category of essays. I'll be meeting you shortly. Stay connected. Welcome back, my dear friends. With a break, I took it on purpose. Feeling a bit tired now. It's fine, my dear friends. Now, in this part of the lecture, I'll be just introducing you with that language insight, and I'll introduce you with certain phrases, words, linguistic structures which could be extremely useful for you. You can choose them in your advantages and disadvantages essays. So let's get started. First of all, while writing the topic sentence of each body paragraph, you can use certain pet structures. Now, what are those? Let me just introduce you with, and I hope you will be just writing down the main points and extremely important points rather on your notebooks, and will be very useful afterwards, and when you will be doing a bit of practice of these kind of essays. So the sample topic sentences structures are given now. In paragraph 1, when you will be introducing your advantage, you can choose there are numerous advantages too. So that's the structure. There are numerous advantages too. You can choose the later on phrases, for example, computer-based learning. There are numerous advantages too. Yes. So it can be used while explaining while just describing any advantage in your body paragraph. It will be the topic sentence. So, these kind of structures are really important. So these are readily available knowledge is not without its disadvantages. However, in the second body paragraph, when you're introducing your disadvantage in a topic sentence, you can choose is not without its disadvantages, however. So that's the second part of the sentence. So you can choose, for example, readily available knowledge is not without its disadvantages, however. So I'm gonna give you some more examples. I give you just two sample sentences. For example, it's a good idea to memorize these kind of structures for just adding them into your body paragraphs as your topic sentences. They are really important for you guys. Topic sentences such as these, you will find that you can apply these sentence structures or topic sentences to most advantages and disadvantages essays. So, for example, there are numerous advantages to shopping online, taking a gap year, assessing students through exams, getting higher education from abroad. So these are the sample actually structures. So you can choose these structures for topic sentences. And for disadvantage, you can choose the previous structure which I gave you, and it would be, for example, the later part of the sentence. You can add something regarding your topic in the beginning. For example, shopping online is not without its disadvantages, however, or taking a gap year, or assessing students through exams, or getting higher education from abroad is not without its disadvantages, however. So these could be certain structures which are really conducive for you if you have to just memorize them. Then something about concluding your body paragraphs. You can use some linkers or discourse markers like overall or in short. For example, for advantages, online knowledge nowadays is both diverse and readily available. Overall, online knowledge nowadays is both diverse and readily available. So the next one is in paragraph 2, where you are explaining your disadvantages. In short, comma, there are drawbacks to the expense of knowledge on the internet. In short, comma, there are drawbacks to the expense of knowledge on the internet. So you can also use the clauses of contrast here. They are very conducive for making your structures or giving a structural value to your essay. It's important keeping in view the discourse markers. For example, for coherence and cohesion, it's important. There are lots of opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities rather to use clauses of contrast in this type of essay. For example, you can use the word although, while, despite. For example, although the internet is effective in delivering us information at high speed, comma, we cannot always rely on computers in the same way that we can with books. Yes, this is an example of using although, the clause of contrast. Some useful structures of similar type could be like this. Although the internet is effective, ... while the internet is effective, ... despite being effective, ... and despite the fact that internet is effective, ... Dear friends, in the last of this lecture of ours today, I will just introduce you with one simple question first, and then I'll give you the answer in all the fundamental blocks for your complete and extreme understanding. So let's get started. In some countries, young people are encouraged to work or travel for a year between finishing high school and starting university studies. Instruction words: discuss the advantages and disadvantages for this trend. So this was the question. It falls into the first type of advantages and disadvantages essay. So answer to this in fundamental blocks, sentence by sentence, like this, would be like this. The first of all, in introduction, we'll introduce the question, being paraphrased. So that's the first question. That's the first sentence of our essay. Before embarking on college, many young people are advised that a year working or traveling may be a good option. Now the outline sentence. This essay will suggest that saving money is the biggest advantage of this, whereas a reduced motivation to study is the primary disadvantage. So how accurately it has been balanced by introducing the advantage first, and in the second part of the sentence, the disadvantage. So that's going to be actually the first part of this sentence with the first body paragraph. The second part of the outline statement was actually the second body paragraph. So how beautiful this outline statement is, which has actually given you the full-fledged idea what is going to be in the major two body paragraphs. The body paragraph 1 and its topic sentence would be like this, and I will explain or showcase one advantage. There are numerous advantages to taking a gap year, because third level education is very expensive, and lots of students decide to work for 12 months and save up money before they resume their studies. That's it. It was a topic sentence. Now it's explanation. This allows them to pay for their living costs, tuition fees, and accommodation, and focus on their studies rather than struggle financially while doing a part-time job on top of their academic work. Now the example. The Times recently reported that the average student at a UK university requires over $12,000 per annum just to survive, and many drop out because they cannot afford to pay, so they can't stay. Now the body paragraph 2, the topic sentence. One disadvantage will be introduced here. Despite these disadvantages, many students often get used to working for or traveling and do not want to return to a life of study after a year off. Now its explanation, how this is a disadvantage. This short-term views or break, the short-term break can cause some to bypass university altogether and go straight into a job which is beneath their capabilities or may not offer the same prospects their future career might have done. Now it will be supported with an example. For instance, a recent survey by the British government found that 20% of students who take a gap year never enter tertiary education. Now the conclusion, a summary of the main points. In conclusion, taking a break from studies can be advantageous. In conclusion, taking a break from studies can be advantageous if it allows people to gather up savings. However, they should also be careful that it does not lead to detachment with education altogether. You can also use disillusionment for detachment or dissociation, replacing the detachment. My dear friends, it was a long lecture, but it was extremely useful, and I hope you would have made the notes of all that lecture. It has solved your problems related to advantage and disadvantage essays for good. Now there is not any section left or any part left for this kind of essay which needs to be given attention to. I have focused on all three categories. I've introduced the questions, explained them, and I've also given you the structures of all these three kinds of advantages and disadvantages essays. And I hope you would keep on benefiting from this video time and again. It was the lengthiest one, very long as a matter of fact, but it has given you the contents which were not in your access until now. I'll meet you next time with another question type of IELTS writing part 2. Until then, God bless you all. Take care of yourself and bye-bye.